Ever wondered what happens to brand new cars that nobody buys? Like $100,000 trucks just collecting dust? And wonder who's really buying these things? Well, a Stellantis dealer just said it flat out. People show interest, ask for the price, and then walk away. And the truck, it just sits. High inventory, high interest rates, low sales. That's what dealers are dealing with right now. And while those trucks sit pretty under the sun, someone's paying for that, and it's not the factory. But here's what nobody talks about: what actually happens to these unsold cars. Do they get returned to the automaker, dumped at auctions, or just left to rot behind the dealership? This is PistonVerse, and we're pulling back the curtain on what happens to new cars that never get sold. So what happens next? Do these cars just sit there forever? Or worse, do some end up crushed into scrap metal before anyone even drives them? Here's the kicker in today's market. More brand new cars are idling on dealer lots than ever before. It's not just one or two models. It's turning into a full-blown traffic jam. Take the Dodge Charger. Right now, dealers across the U.S. are sitting on over 6,800 unsold units. The average market day supply? 312 days. That's nearly a full year of just waiting. And the Charger isn't alone. The Ford Bronco, Infiniti QX80, and others are seeing similar slowdowns. High price tags, shifting demand, and rising interest rates are locking these cars into limbo. So what actually happens when there are no buyers? Today on PistonVerse, we're diving into the hidden fate of unsold vehicles sitting across dealership lots in the U.S. But before we rev the engine, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join the ride. Let's break this down. To understand what really happens to unsold cars, you've got to know how dealerships actually work, and spoiler, they don't own the cars outright. Just like many buyers, dealerships finance their inventory. That's right, they take out loans called floor plans to stock their lots with new cars, and they pay interest on every vehicle until it's sold. Once the dealership takes that loan, they owe the manufacturer up front. That means every car just sitting there is quietly draining money, interest, insurance, even lot space. If a car doesn't sell fast, it becomes a financial anchor. Dealers can't afford to just let cars sit around. They need turnover to survive. Time on the lot equals money lost. And here's the real twist: they can't return those cars. Once it's on the lot, it's their responsibility. The manufacturer doesn't take them back. That vehicle is now the dealer's problem. It's one of the biggest hidden struggles between car makers and dealerships. How to keep inventory moving without flooding the lots with vehicles that buyers just aren't biting on. Predicting what people will actually buy isn't an exact science. Manufacturers build cars based on sales forecasts and trends, but they don't always get it right. A new model might look good on paper, futuristic, flashy, but if buyers don't connect with it, it ends up sitting. And sitting cars cost dealers money. To avoid that, dealerships watch something called inventory turnover. The goal? Move each car within 60 to 90 days of arrival. Miss that window, and it starts becoming a liability. So what happens when a car overstays its welcome? That's when dealers shift into clearance mode. Let's break down the 4 major tactics dealerships use to move unsold inventory, starting with the most obvious one. Tactic number 1, price drops. It's the first move and often the loudest. When cars won't move, the price tag takes the hit. Take the Ford Escape. According to Carriage data, there are nearly 58,000 of them sitting on lots across the U.S., with a market supply that stretches beyond 6 months. That's way past healthy turnover. To fight the glut, dealers are throwing out deep discounts and special offers just to get buyers through the door. But they're not doing it alone. Sometimes the manufacturers step in too, offering factory-backed incentives like cashback bonuses or 0% financing just to move a model that isn't performing. These incentives can come in all forms, from 0% financing and cashback offers to employee pricing and aggressive lease deals. Some dealers sweeten the pot even more with free maintenance packages, extended warranties, or trade-in bonuses, anything that adds value without tanking their margins. But what happens when even that doesn't work? When discounts and deals still don't move the metal? That's when things get a little more creative. Tactic number 2, turning a brand new car into a used one. Yep, sometimes a car has sat so long, it has no choice but to get repurposed. One common move is adding the car to the dealership's loaner fleet used when customers come in for service. After a few months of casual use, it's no longer new. It's a lightly used vehicle with barely any mileage. And here's the clever part. Once it's reclassified as used, it can be listed at a lower price, and suddenly it moves faster. Buyers are more open to used cars, even when they're practically untouched. Another trick? Demo vehicles. Sales managers or staff take the car home for a few months, drive it around, and then return it. It gets cleaned up, marked down, and listed as slightly used with bonus value.
Used vehicles.
Many of these cars also go through certified pre-owned CPO programs. They come with manufacturer-backed warranties, low mileage, and that new car feel all at a reduced price. For the buyer, it's a win. For the dealership, it's inventory cleared without taking a full loss. Still not selling? No problem, dealers have more tricks up their sleeve. Tactic number 3, trading inventory between dealerships. See, car demand isn't the same everywhere. A convertible might fly off the lot in Florida, but sit untouched in snowy Minnesota. So dealers swap cars based on location demand. Let's say a luxury sedan isn't moving in New York. It might be traded to a California dealership where buyers are actively looking for it. Everyone wins and no one takes a full loss. These swaps are common for specialty models, rare trims, or bold color options that didn't quite match local buyer tastes. It's a quiet but smart way to rebalance inventory. But what if no one wants the car, not locally, not through swaps, and not with markdowns? That's when it's time for tactic number 4. The auction route. Auctioning is the last resort for most dealerships. It's not ideal, they usually lose money, but it's better than letting a car sit and bleed costs forever. What most buyers don't realize is that the auction scene is massive. There are entire networks built around moving unsold cars, sometimes brand new, sometimes barely used. There are 2 main types of auctions: closed auctions for brand-specific dealers, and open auctions where any licensed dealer can bid. Prices at open auctions often drop fast. That's where used car lots scoop up inventory. The biggest name in the auction space? Mannheim, owned by Cox Automotive. If a car can't find a home, chances are it'll end up there. Dealers rarely break even at auction, but it's better than sitting on debt. Ever rented a car from a major company? There's a good chance that vehicle started life as a slow seller sitting on a dealership lot, then auctioned off into a rental fleet. Rental companies are some of the biggest buyers at auctions. For them, it's all about volume, and dealers are happy to let cars go at a discount just to clear space. But here's one of the most surprising parts of this whole story. Some cars never even make it to the dealership. They're built and then benched. Manufacturers sometimes overproduce, especially with experimental models or trends that flop early, like the recent oversupply of electric vehicles that didn't move as expected. Rather than force dealerships to take them, automakers shift strategies. Some cars get parked in massive storage lots, waiting for demand. Others are exported overseas to markets where they're in demand. A car that's unpopular in the US might actually be a hot ticket in places like South America, Africa, or Asia. It's all about demand. But here's the final twist. In rare cases, the manufacturer doesn't resell the car at all. They scrap it. Brand new, never driven, gone. Why? Because selling it at extreme discounts could hurt the brand's value. So instead, they dismantle the car, salvage the parts, and write off the loss. So the next time you pass a car that's been sitting on the lot for months, just know it won't stay there forever. But that doesn't always mean it finds a happy ending. Whether it's sold, traded, scrapped, or exported, every car moves eventually. Some just take a longer road than others. If you got value from this breakdown, like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's the best car deal you've ever seen or scored yourself? Let's talk about it. You've been watching PistonVerse, the universe where every car tells a story.